come on, hand! Today we enter one of life's greatest mysteries, dinner etiquette. Etiquette, that confusing word there, that is defined as customary code of polite behavior in society. Oh yes, that clears it all up for sure now. In other words, it is the way in which you act in order to shove food in your face. But still, food is an important thing in life. Whether you're a herbivore, an omnivore, a carnivore, a ketomore, or a tacosaurus, or a macaroni floatist, whatever it is, that's what we need. Everything eats, even plants eats. They need nutrients that they get from the ground with water, and they also need like carbon dioxide in the air and then soaking up the sun. That's part of their balanced diet. And the plants are like, oh, this is nice. Oh, yes. Let me turn over. It's been 15 minutes. Oh, it's so sunny. I'm eating right now. So because everyone needs nutrients, we all have to eat. So people have come a long way from living in the dirt and using sticks as pokers and leaves as wrappings. But it was still, that's what we did. We used to eat it raw. And, sometimes I still like to eat it raw. You give me a nice juicy steak and I gotta help myself. While that contained a lot of vitamins and nutrients for people to eat things raw, it still does too. Some things, they're better raw. Raw! Other food had bacteria, made people sick. You make your belly right here, it goes all grumbly, and then you get all upset and you're like, blah. People started using tools to make things easier to eat. Make a wheel and that goes round and round, and then they put like a spick on it and then put a pig on it and it goes round and round over the fire. They used forks and knives and spoons and chopsticks, all the kind of pokey things that we use to go ahead and eat things with. So because of this, people started to learn how to cook things. And they figured this out by adding heat, fire. Cooking meant better nutrition overall. Things used to not be able to eat were now on the menu. Like pork and chicken, they had lots of bacteria that needed like fire. Cashews, you think cashews, it's a nut, I can eat it. No, it's poisonous, it's toxic with the shell. You have to boil them and then they become what we know. Red kidney beans provide a little bit more fermentation in the belly that expands and turns into gases. Bamboo shoots, those were just hard to digest, and now we cook them and then we can eat them. And shellfish, those creepy crawlers on the bottom of the ocean. They've got like gangly eyes and little diddlies and attract the other fish. And then there's so many other things. And just also, a lot of things became more nutritious. Spices meant tastier things. Adding basics like salt and pepper enhanced natural flavors of meats and vegetables. You ever go camping and the wind blows and the dirt and ash come flying in your food? That's nature seasoning. As people started doing more than just shoving it in their face, people wanted to show how fancy they could be. I have the fancy pants. Oh yes, I am the fanciest pants in the room. Look at, wait, I do not have pants. They would have fine china and silverware that was so shiny you could see your own face in the spoon. And they would be all like fancy, sticking their pinkies up in the air while they would drink drinks and things. And they'd make fancy pants desserts. Fill a balloon full of chocolate and then pop it and invert some cream into it with a nice nutmeg layer with like crumbly cookies and nougat, fluffy pants and drizzle sauce and call it a dessert. But all this turned into like the rules of eating. Kind of like when you're out on the playground, you're like, hey, I want to play. What are the rules? And they're like, you can be a chicken. People made up the rules for eating. You follow at least some of those rules, or at least your parents want you to. This caused people to start being more civilized and proper, and wipe down the babies and things. And even animals clean themselves after eating, go take a splash in the pond, be like, oh, this is nice, oh, the leeches. And as all good things go, sometimes we need to put a little bit of struggle, a little effort. And that made us better than the common way to just shove in our face. Well, people still need manners today. We don't often follow super strict rules of eating at home. It is important to know the different ways of a situation for how to act. Not just like PJs at home, but like fancy pants outside. They're really about two different ways of eating. With your hands or with utensils. Forks, knives, spoons. Eating with your hands is often the messiest, and as such, there are less polite ways to eat with your hands. Eating with utensils, there's a million ways to eat. Do you know the rules for polite dining? In like restaurants and places like that? Not in your PJs at home? Do not start until everyone is ready. What this means, if it's like a place where you are all sharing food in the center and they're in bowls and you are going to pass it from person to person, wait for everybody to sit down. If it is like a place where you have a menu, then, wait for everybody to get their food from their order. Their mac and cheese or their bacon wrapped shrimp or their turkey filleted minions or something like that. If it is a regular home meal, it's probably good to wait for everybody to show up too, since, there's only like a few of you. Think about it. It's not a race. We don't want to be like eating in separate corners of the room. We want to be there together. If you bring other things than just like shoes and stuff, and you have like a purse or a coat or like a pet lobster, it doesn't belong on the table. It is best to leave on hangers. Or if they aren't available, put it on the chair in which you are sitting. But seriously, don't bring your pet lobster. Some places might get confused. If you are concerned for the safekeeping of an item, keep it in your lap. But don't put it on your lap if it's a lobster. That's just silly talk. Eating with your hands. This can be okay. But when? With handheld items, of course, that's the one that makes the most sense. It's like hot dogs and pizza and chicken wings and spring rolls and croissants, bacon wrapped shrimp, lettuce wrapped hamburgers if you're that way, cucumbers and dipped in like dips and things and other dippy things like that, and yeah. Licking fingers and things. While it might be okay to eat with your hands, it is not okay to eat your hands. It is not polite to shove your fingers in your mouth. That's just disgusting. Keep them to yourself. They belong on the napkins. I know it is delicious and tempting to lick the plate, but do not lick the plate. Your napkin. If it is in the shape of an animal, you're definitely in a fancy place. If you do not know which one is yours, it's on the left. It belongs in your lap, not tucked into your shirt or your pants or something like that. That's just weird. If you need to leave the table, place it on your chair, not on the table. I know it seems weird, but that's just the right thing to do. It lets people know you're still coming back to eat. Bread and water. You get to the table, and there's a tasty garlic stick waiting for you. But which one? And after you eat it, which glass is yours? You don't know. There's one over here, and one over there, and one over there. And everybody's got two, and they're filled with for like water and other things, and you're just, I don't know what to do. So, for this, I call upon Hand and Other Hand. They will show you how to figure it out. To know which side has your bread, loop your pointer finger and your thumb together. The B is the bread side, and the D is the drink side. After you know which glass to use, be sure to pick it up. Leaning over to drink from a straw will draw attention to you. Just pick it up! Definitely do not let the straw make that slurpy sound like... I don't care how tasty it is, just don't do it! Sharing. Now that you're seated in your seat, on your seat, and getting ready to serve food to your plate, which way do you pass the bowls? Left or right? Nobody knows! Never mind, I'm just kidding. Always pass it to the right. Why? 'Cause you do. Yeah, if you go the other way, it's gonna cause chaos! You got green beans in the fruit salad! Now what if somebody wants the salt? If it's spilled, take a pinch, throw it over your shoulder, and it's for good luck. And then give them the pepper too, because, they're going to want the pepper too. And they'll be like, oh, thank you. I didn't know that I wanted the pepper, but I do want the pepper. Thank you so much. You are so helpful. Before you add salt and pepper, be sure to try the food first. Don't add more seasoning before trying it. It's like saying, oh, I know better than whoever cooked this, and they didn't know what they were doing. It is always fine to season after tasting, as you might like it a little stronger, but respect the cook. Now we come to cleanliness. Sometimes we spill, you drop a fork or a spoon. That time, when we drop it, we gotta leave it. We gotta get a new one. And sometimes we spill on ourselves and then we have to go wash ourselves or our clothes. Try better next time. We all make mistakes, and nobody's perfect, but use a napkin. Do not wipe your hands on your clothes. If you have to sneeze, like achoo, it's more polite to excuse yourself. Say, oh, I'm going to sneeze, hold, achoo! Or to go get a Kleenex and take care of it properly. When done eating, you are responsible for your dishes if you are at home. If you're at a restaurant, well, they have other rules. But if at home, you need to go remove your dishes from the table. That way you can be helpful. Location is everything to knowing what you should do. If you're not sure how to act when eating, look around. And what do you see? Low light, tablecloths, shiny glasses. This place is fancy. Then you're thinking to yourself, oh, did I take a shower in the last 2 days? Did I comb my hair? Did I put on deodorant? Don't yell. Wait your turn. Do your best not to spill anything. You do not know what fork to use out of the 5 that are laid out? Start on the outside and work your way in. Another time might be, is there booth seating, like a plank of wood that pirates would have you walk the plank, but instead you sit on it? A playground at the location? Somebody tying balloon animals? You are pretty safe here. You could probably get away with wearing sweatpants or something. Just have some common courtesy and don't leave your fry bag on the seat. The last part about dining is polite conversation. So now you are chomping away on your meal going, with your mouth closed. If you want to say something, make sure the food is gone. Not sloshing around in your cheekbone okay, now I can talk. Just hold up a finger like other hand, and people will get the drift. And you are trying to be polite, because whatever you wanted to say, it can wait. They will wait for you. Do not interrupt, and try to listen while you eat, so you will have a good chance to respond when they do ask you a question, instead of being oh, what do you think, Ned? Do you like blue or black? Oh, Tuesday. It just doesn't work. You gotta pay attention. It's polite. Thought experiment. This experiment will show a proper way to have a dinner conversation. I will show you an example of how to do this with a little help from hand, other hand, and me, of course. Oh, it is so great to sit down and eat with you today. I too am glad that you could be here with me. This looks delicious. Thank you. It is one of my favorite dishes to make. How have you been doing lately? Oh, it's been good. I take myself on walks in the park and go and chase the ducks. Oh, that sounds wonderful. After dinner, maybe we could go behind the fence and wait for people to walk by and bark at them and scare them. Oh, that sounds like a splendid idea. So, as you can see, often with eating, it is not just about the food, but the company that you have while eating the food. While we need to eat, we also need to respect each other and take turns talking. Also show interest in the things that they are speaking about. Relate on common grounds about ducks and chickens and scaring people and whatnot. So, cooking has helped us have tastier food and better nutrition. We should obey certain rules of eating to be polite. Remember the specifics. Wait for everyone to start. No belongings on the tables, including lobsters. Only certain times is it okay to eat with your hands, but do not lick the fingers or the plates. Know which napkin is yours and how to use it on your mouth parts and fingers. B is for bread and D is for drink. If you get confused, use your pointers and thumbs and think. Passing food around the table goes to your right. Learn the time to speak and how to be polite. If you don't know what to do, follow what others are doing. So, keep your mind open and your ears too. Go and learn things. It's good for you. Bye. Oh, I need a napkin. And everything in the world. I want to eat the whole world. Get over here and get in my face, world. Which way do you plast the bowls? Plast the bowls? Plast the bowls. I don't know how to plast them bowls. Look right, Ned. Come on. Look at the camera. This is a problem. We gotta get this fixed. What are the rules? And they're like, there are no rules. Certain plants could be processed much now. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. If you have a curse? If you have a curse, you better get rid of that soon. Let's pause and let's go over that again.